Very good morning to everyone. Thank you for attending today's forum, the INBIOSIS-MSBMB forum, where we are going to discuss and to learn about the science and commercialization of tiger milk mushroom. I am Associate Professor Dr. Chyan. I will be your moderator for this in this forum. And I hope some background of INBIOSIS that play in the video just now give you to know about us, INBIOSIS. And before we would like to start the forum, and I also would like to play an introduction video from LiGNO and to introduce the background of the tiger milk mushroom. So before I introduce the panelists, so let us learn a bit the background of the tiger milk mushroom, and I will then introduce our panelists and also to tell you about how we're going to run the forum later. Okay, so let's enjoy the 5 minutes video first. A beautiful video from the LiGNO and Bintan, can you help to play the video? Thank you.
Tiger milk mushroom is the herbal fungus that is reputed to be a national treasure of Malaysia. It has been used for medical purposes for over 400 years. This Southeast Asian underground gem is about to take on the world thanks to the father of tiger milk, Dr. Tan Chon Seng, and his team at LiGNO Biotech Sendirian Berhad. Growing up in the countryside, Dr. Tan Chon Seng developed a sense of intimacy and curiosity with the natural ecology. This led him on the road to scientific research and to become one of the pioneers of the Malaysian Agricultural Research and Development Institute, or MARDI. At the International Convention on Biotechnology 2002, the 7th Prime Minister, Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, talked about the efficiency of tiger milk mushroom in curing his chronic cough compared to modern medication. Dr. Tan, who attended the conference, was taken aback by what he heard, as it came from a Western medical practitioner. Tiger milk mushroom is highly valued for treating coughs, asthma, and allergic inflammation, as well as invigorating the body. Such a precious herb is better known among the Malays and older Chinese. In the 1930s and 40s, almost every household would have something as hard as the rock. Tiger milk can only be found in Malaysia's tropical rainforest. For all its exceptional healing properties, the wild fungus is extremely hard to find. One would have to rely on the indigenous people who stay in the forest and depend on sheer luck to be able to trace the fungus. In order to avoid the precious fungus from becoming extinct in the woods, Dr. Tan and his understudy and partner Ting fought setbacks for 6 years to carry out tiger milk cultivation research. From nil to its relevant records on research or medicinal value of the plant, the whole team offered themselves as the guinea pigs of the clinical tests. After 7 years of hard work and countless ordeals, the research team finally succeeded in developing the artificially grown tiger milk mushroom. And in 2009, they founded LiGNO Biotech Sendirian Berhad, holding the patent for tiger milk mushroom cultivation techniques. However, it wasn't easy for researchers without any experience in commerce to start a business. One step at a time, in recent years, LiGNO Biotech has gained the recognition of its technology. Besides winning the Invention, Innovation and Technology Exhibition ITEX Gold Medal, it entered the Malaysia Book of Records as the world's first enterprise to successfully breed tiger milk mushrooms. It is also certified as organic and halal by the Ministry of Agriculture and Jakim, respectively. As a Malaysian biotech company with excellent prospects, LiGNO not only gained BioNexus status from Bioeconomy Corporation in 2012, but was also selected as one of the top 10 companies under the SME Corporation Malaysia's BioNext program. In terms of marketing, LiGNO receives the full support from SME Corporation and Bioeconomy Corporation to become a world-class biotech enterprise. As part of its social responsibility, LiGNO participates in charitable activities held by the Human Life Advancement Foundation, founded by Tun Dr. Mahathir, and donates some of its profits as scholarships to schools in third world developing countries, so the people will benefit from better sustainable development by means of education and technology transfer. Dr. Tan Chon Seng and Ng Su Ting. One focuses on research projects while the other runs the company. The rapport between master and disciple and their team brings the rare tiger milk mushroom to the world to benefit even more people in need. LiGNO Biotech breaks through the traditional methods of consuming tiger milk mushroom by turning it into a true herb with modern pharmacology and scientific verification. With patience, determination, and perseverance, LiGNO overcomes all obstacles in its scientific research in seeking out Malaysia's abundant resources to make the world a healthier place.
Let's come back to the forum. So I hope the video have give a very good introduction to the discovery of tiger milk mushroom. And it's my honor today to introduce our three panelists. We have Prof. Fung Shin from Universiti Malaya. She will share with us the science behind the tiger milk mushroom. And we will have Miss Ng Su Ting, as introduced by the video. She's one of the founder and our CEO of the LiGNO Sdn Bhd. And we also having, she will share with us about the challenges or maybe the story in how from science to the industry for the tiger milk mushroom. And we will have Miss Michelle Yeong. She's a pharmacist, and she will share with us about the pharmacology or the marketing, or how the tiger milk mushroom from research and then from production and to the shelf of pharmacy. So in this forum, just make a bit of introduction where each of the panel will give a 25 minutes talk on their topic regarding science of the mushroom, TMM, the industry background, and also the pharmacy or marketing part in TMM. And we will have first invite Prof. Fung Shin, and followed by Ms. Ng Su Ting, and then by Ms. Michelle Yeong. And after all the panels talk, then we will start the forum or discussion, and we will answer the questions either from here webinar, and also the question from Facebook for your information. So we have also Facebook Live of this forum. So we will try to answer with the time that we have the questions from the participants, and to address and discuss the interesting behind the TMN, and also the one of the very good example of how the natural product turned to be a product in the pharmacy, right? So before we finish, we will also capture a photo so that we will have a nice record of our time over here in this forum. So with that, I would like to introduce our first panel, Professor Fung Shin. Dr. Fung, Professor Fung is a biochemist and actively pursue her interests in natural compound, focusing on medicinal mushrooms. She leads the Medicine Mushroom Research Group and has immense interest in Malaysia's national treasure, the tiger milk mushroom. Amongst others, medicinal mushrooms. So she's very interested in studying mushroom. Her innovative work with LiGNO species has won her several prestigious international and local prizes, including Prix to Salon International des Inventions de Geneva and ITEX Gold Awards, and a number of Malaysian patents. Her interests also include other prizes, medicinal mushrooms such as Ophiocordyceps sinensis and other species. And her research endeavor utilized a multidisciplinary approach in her methodology with multiple collaborators, both local and international. Her work transcended from bench to bedside, a translational research that aims to bring Malaysian medicinal germ to good use, promoting wellness to humankind. She constantly intrigued by the answers provided by the nature for the problem faced in human health and social issue. She strongly believes the nature has many hidden secrets, like we all believe, which if one can tap into, will provide many solutions and platforms from which to learn from, and which is also sharing a similar interest for many scientists who are working on natural products as well. This has led her to her primary interest in natural compound with healing properties. She's a founder and chief technology officer of Ascenti Nutrient Sdn Bhd, who specialized and pioneered the ACE technology. So she's not only the scientist, also an entrepreneur, having experience in establishing a company. I would like to invite Professor Fung to share with us her knowledge in tiger milk mushroom this morning. Professor Fung, the floor is yours. We can't hear you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Prof. Ng, for the kind introduction. I'm privileged today to be able to join all of us to tell you a little something of what we have done in our laboratory. And now we are moving our work to the hospitals. Something that is of great interest to everyone, especially after the long hiatus of the pandemic. So today I'm going to take us through our almost 15 years of work, but short pieces of work so that we can allocate more time for questions. My journey started with tiger milk mushroom, as you can see here. And we have established now a research group to work solely on the major species of this Malaysian medicinal gem. So in Malaysia, not many people know, but actually Malaysia is a home to 3 species of tiger milk mushroom. We know only the common name, which is tiger milk mushroom. In the lab, we try to use bigger jargons. We call it LiGNO rhinoceros, which is the main species that is well known to many. Is also the main species that is commercialized at this moment. But if we go to the forest, we will see that the Malaysian species actually, there are 3. The LiGNO tigris and also the LiGNO cameronensis. These 2 other species are not yet, has not reached the level of how we have studied LiGNO rhinoceros, but we are getting there. So how and why do we have so much interest? We are very, very proud, which is what we call our national treasure. And if we look into the history of tiger milk mushroom and what people used to call it Lac tigridis, because it looks like a fungus, but the medicinal properties actually is found in the root of this fungus, which I will show you shortly. And if we look into the history, it has been traded and it has been widely searched for since 1664. All these are found in the diary of John Evelyn. And the first taxonomical description of this mushroom is actually obtained from our very own Penang, Malaysia. So if we look into the ethnomycological uses, meaning to say the uses by the orang asli, they have been using it for asthma or any other respiratory diseases, for cough, for fever, for swellings, we now know as cancer, and also joint pains and other illnesses related to inflammation. And then it has been traded and brought to Hong Kong and China, so they have started to use it for liver cancer, gastric ulcers, and so on. The locals in our Semenanjung, Malaysia, use it for vitality, that means for general health and well-being. And specifically, the orang asli use it for after childbirth. So this is actually really, really close to our hearts, because I believe always that when there are traditional usage of any medicaments, there must be something that we do not yet know. So we as scientists, I think we put it upon ourselves to search for data to support these traditional uses. So as mentioned in the video you have just seen, our interest and inspiration really came from a public introduction by Tun Mahathir Mohamad, who is a Western trained medical professional. But even for someone who is medically trained, there weren't any good responsive cure for chronic cough and lung infection. And it was actually through that speech that we were challenged to investigate and analyze this mushroom that is deemed really effective for cough and lung infection. So this is the root that I was talking about. If you look at the bottom of my slide, you will see that this is how the mushroom really is. However, if we look at tiger milk mushroom, we are not really talking about the cap nor the stem, unlike other mushrooms. We are solely focusing on the root of this mushroom, which is called the sclerotium. And this is really the part with medicinal value. If we do a cross cut of this mushroom and we grind it into powder, it is whitish in color, possibly with some taste of milk. And this root really remains underground until the environment around this space where it is growing is good and ideal for it to sprout, basically for reproduction purposes. Otherwise, it will remain underground for months, years, or even decades. But the moment it sprouts, then all the nutrients, the medicinal property found in this root is going to be used for sprouting, because they have to reproduce when the condition changes. So to be able to find this mushroom in the wild, as you have seen in the video just now, it is extremely difficult. We need to get help. The orang asli knows best. And the existence of this mushroom is always singular. We find one, and then in a very great distance, 5 to 10 kilometers, we probably can find another. And because of this, for so many hundreds of years, nobody can actually get hold of a lot of this medicinal mushroom, tiger milk mushroom. So because of that, it became costly. There were no studies simply because the supply was limited. So in 2002, after listening to the great inspirational story, we took this upon ourselves. LiGNO Biotech has successfully then cultivated this mushroom. This picture does not belong to me. It belongs to the world's first mushroom cultivator. And you will hear it from one of the founders herself of how they managed to do this. So in 2009, they successfully cultivated this mushroom. So you can see some of these pictures here that they took a great deal of time to cultivate this into a sclerotium here at part C. So what they did was that they did not allow the stem and the cap to form. And therefore, when the stem and cap does not form, all the medicinal properties within the sclerotium is then retained. And this process is standardized. After that, we were able to do a lot of scientific investigation to back all the users, the traditional users of this mushroom. So the question remains. Actually, it is a very important question. When we say we are consuming tiger milk mushroom, are you really taking the real tiger milk mushroom? So this is something that is very important. As scientists, as someone who is going to advocate that people take tiger milk mushroom for health and well-being, I feel that it is really important to ask, where is the source? Where do I get this from? How is it cultivated? How is it grown? Is it really tiger milk mushroom that I'm taking? So we have done all these tests. When you look for tiger milk mushroom to consume, probably after this talk, I hope we will inspire you to take. Please look for this logo, because this logo contains the component that we are testing, that we have tested. I will show you all our test result. Some of it are really important for you to understand. So we started the test on tiger milk mushroom by doing the most basic yet most important test of all, the safety evaluation. We need to be very sure that something that we put into our bodies is safe for consumption. Not just safe or tasty, but safe for our body and all our internal organs. So we did. To do this, it took us about three to 4 years. We started from scratch. We did it using subacute toxicity, followed by acute, followed by subacute, followed by chronic toxicity. I put here 180 days. Actually, it is not just 180 days because we have to block it into different groups. So it took us 1.5 years. We had to do fertility, teratogenic effects, genotoxicity. We gave really high doses of this mushroom. And the result is that it is very safe. It is very safe up to 10 grams for 60 kg. But actually, there's no need for us to take so much. The recommended dosage, minimum dosage to show efficacy is only 500 mg per day for an adult. So there is a huge safety margin for TM02. We didn't only test on animals, we also tested on us, on humans. And we didn't choose the easy way. We didn't test on healthy individuals. We tested on individuals with low immunity, not healthy. So we call it the low immunity cohort. We had an ethics to do this. And then we took their blood before and after. And the results showed us that it was safe to consume, even for immune challenged patients. There were no changes in renal and liver function test. And all the blood parameters came back normal. So when you see this logo, then perhaps you can remember that we have done all this work. And we have been in the market now. This TMO2 has been in the market now for more than a decade. It has won several awards. What is in the market, which will be explained to you, is the freeze-dried tiger milk mushroom sclerotium powder. So why are we so passionate about these medicinal mushrooms? Because we know that food plays a very important role in our daily diet. Mushroom is a food. Mushroom is not just a food to keep us satiated and full. It keeps us well and healthy. And mushrooms are fast becoming a superfood, they call it, because these mushrooms not only give us what we need to survive, it gives us important molecules and compounds that help us to improve our immunity. So, and there has been many publications on the efficacy and benefits of eating mushrooms. And we have done a small scale quality of life studies. So we went to ask people, why? Why do they take tiger milk mushroom? So they say that they take it for respiratory related illnesses, asthmatic patients are a large number of patients who actually take tiger milk mushroom to relieve their symptoms. Cough, allergies, joint pains, they feel that they have more energy. And also, this is one of the referring to traditional use, it's for cancer. So based on the feedback of the consumers, we then did multiple studies. So we started with this safety evaluation. Now we know that it is really safe to consume. Then we went on to look at what is inside this tiger milk mushroom. We did nutritional studies. We did chemical composition studies. And then we look into anti-cancer studies and immunomodulatory. We look at how tiger milk mushroom can work as an anti-inflammatory component and how it can dilate our airways. We then see how it can become antioxidant and how it can inhibit glycation. So inhibition of glycation is a property that is important to look at to prevent aging. And then in the last few years, in the last 5 years perhaps, we did translational clinical works. Something like this, from lab safety, in vitro studies, to in vivo, and then to human trial, can only be done when this component that we are testing have been tested really rigorously. All documentation, if I think you will hear it from our pharmacist, that in order for anything to go and be approved in the National Regulatory Pharmaceutical Board, it has to have really strong justifications. So I'm happy to share with you tiger milk mushroom outcomes that we have done in the last decade to enable us to be where we are today. So we go on to look at some of the data, anti-inflammatory activity, where we looked into its acute and chronic inflammatory activity, anti-inflammatory activity, and we have published this work. It shows that it has strong inhibitory effect, especially for one of the components that causes inflammation, which is TNF-alpha. We also look into how it can expand the airways, especially important for asthmatic patients and other respiratory illnesses such as COPDs. And when people cough nonstop, people seem to depend on TM02. So we had wanted to know why, and we are looking into this at the molecular level at present. And in our bodies, it shows that it can overcome oxidative stress. We also see changes in very key cytokines, IL-5, 6, MYP2, and TIMP1, to understand how tiger milk mushroom TM02 can modulate our immune system. Our immune system is actually modulated after we take in a compound, in this case TM02. It will work in our bodies, balance some cytokines. That's why we use the word modulate, because in different individuals, it may be modulated differently depending on their body status. So all these are what we have found to be true. Perhaps in my body, it can modulate IL-5, 6, or there's no need to modulate MYP2. So everyone is different. We are now at the advent of discovery where we see a lot of emergence of personalized medicine. So we will see more of that in years to come. And so this is one of the work that we have recently completed. We did a trial on asthmatic patients, and I'm really encouraged by the outcome of these results, where there were 100% positive feedback in our trial. They were reporting, they reported that they were less reliant on inhalers. The blood profile indicated that the serum eosinophil reduced. Usually, serum eosinophil increases because of an allergic reaction. And also, there were a reduction in IgE. And all the questionnaires that we gave to the respondents seem to show that this really is true. So, but this is not something that is new for us. However, in order to tell more people that it does work, we have to give these kind of scientific evidences. So we have to do clinical trial. But the orang asli already know this. They already believe their forefathers. They have started using this a long, long time ago. And then we are now at present doing a clinical trial on long COVID. Like I mentioned to you, in the last few years, tiger milk mushroom really is something that people look for to help with their respiratory conditions. So there's nothing to reveal at this moment yet about this trial, but it is ongoing, and this is actually a milestone for us, because for the very first time, a Malaysian medicament enters the hospital for an emerging disease. And I want to touch a little bit on anti-cancer activity. This is something surprising to us as well, but I feel that I need to share it with you. All current cancer treatment seem to seem to reduce cells in general. So they will reduce these cells, irrespective of whether they are cancerous or normal. TM02 is unique in this way because it is specifically only killing cancer cells. How, why, we don't know yet, but we do know it has a very high selective toxicity against tumorigenic cells. So this is something to look out for, really, something to look out for, and to be perhaps delightfully surprised. So I want to end my talk. I specifically put this to the end because I want to end my talk to tell everyone that as scientists, as modern scientists, after so many years of working with tiger milk mushroom, we really know very little. I encourage anyone here who are scientists to come forth and let's discover together on how and why this mushroom behaves this way. Not just this mushroom, any other mushrooms or any other herbs to do this, because we will enjoy this rub of discovery. So this low immunity cohort is done on post chemo breast cancer patients, because at this moment we are not yet at the level where we can do currently treated patients. So we have to go with what the ethics allow us to, which is post-therapy patients. And usually after chemotherapy, patients feel tired. There are a lot of side effects. They feel that they can't function really well. The quality of life is greatly affected. And our results show that TM02 helps them in all these aspects. And very importantly, TM02 is safe for consumption. So with that, I won't take too much of your time. I will let the two other speakers share with you their experiences and their talk. I will end here. If there are any one of us who is interested to explore further, please let Prof. Ng from UKM know, or any moderators from UKM, and we can chat. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prof. Fung, for the very insightful sharing. And I think we are inspired by the journey that you have taken up to show or provide the clinical data or scientific data to support the function that has been shown for or used for the tiger milk mushroom for the past many years. So I think I would like to welcome again some who joined later, and you were listening to just now Professor Fung Shin talk from Department of Molecular Medicine, Faculty of Medicine of Universiti Malaya. And for those who are having questions, please write down your questions in the text box for the WebEx, and also in the Facebook, where we will place your question later in the WebEx, where we will further discuss, or we'll get our speakers or our panelists to address your questions. So now come to the next very exciting moment, where we having another very distinguished panelist. She's CEO of the LiGNO Biotech Sdn Bhd, Miss Ting. Allow me to read her biography and share her background with you. Ms. Ng is a molecular biologist by training. She obtained her master's degree and a bachelor degree actually from UKM, biochemistry, and also master in molecular biology, right? And she was involved in development of a transgenic plant, genetic GMO, and developing a GMO detection kit. And she have a vast experience in working with a natural product, actually for the past 20 years from the sharing, and focusing on the product discovery and also herbal research. She began a research on the tiger milk mushroom together with Dr. Tan Chong Sing in 2002, and have successfully developed a proprietary cultivation technology in 2008. I think that was a breakthrough, perhaps, for producing a standardized tiger milk mushroom that Prof. Fung have shared just now. So she then moved into the natural product industry. She then, together with Dr. Dan, founded LiGNO Biotech Sdn Bhd in 2008, and is currently the CEO of the company. And she also founded LiGNO and us Sdn Bhd, and also NVST Biosolutions Sdn Bhd. Through the background of Ms. Ng, she has been working as a scientist and also a manager in several companies and has a vast experience, not only from science, but also moving science to the industry. I think she will be one of the very good example of how a scientist can become or have founding the companies and also involving in the industry. So without further ado, I would like to invite Ms. Ng Ting, CEO of LiGNO Biotech, to share with us her experience today working with tiger milk mushroom and how to move the mushroom into the industry. I would like to welcome Ms. Ng.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you
Thank
well.
you, Prof. Ng, for the kind introduction, and also Prof. Fung for the comprehensive introduction on tiger milk mushroom. A very good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining me today. Let me share my. Okay. Can you see my presentations?
Yes, we can see.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. In this presentation, I'm going to share with you our journeys as pioneer in commercializing of Malaysia's medicinal gem, the LiGNO TM02 tiger milk mushroom. And my presentation will be divided into 5 sessions, which will cover the inspiration to set up LiGNO Biotech, the challenges that we faced, and the importance of scientific data in the commercialization of LiGNO TM02, and challenges in developing skilled technical workforce, and also our future directions. So I would like to start by introducing LiGNO Biotech. LiGNO Biotech is a bionasal status company specializing in the cultivation of medicinal mushroom using our patented cultivation technology. It was founded in year 2008 to set up tiger milk mushroom cultivation plant and commercialize the mushroom. And we are the world's first tiger milk mushroom cultivation expert, as certified by the Malaysia Book of Records. And our facilities are ISO 22000, ASAP, GMP, Halal, and organic certified. Our mission is to develop and produce quality, effective, and evidence-based functional mushroom that improve the quality of life for humanity. And we want to be a trusted leader in health and wellness industry, contributing to a healthier and better future for all mankind. These are some of the mushrooms that we are producing. Besides tiger milk mushroom, we also produce Cordyceps sinensis, Entrodia camphorata, chaga mushroom, and sanghong mushroom, which is targeting different function. And this mushroom can be used in various applications ranging from nutraceutical, dietary supplements, functional food and beverage, to supplements and even skincare. Now, why we started with tiger milk mushroom? As introduced by Dr. Fung, Prof. Fung, tiger milk mushroom is a very important Malaysia origin medicinal mushroom, which has 500-year history of use in Malaysia for maintaining respiratory health and also immunity. It is a rare species and the wild harvested mushroom is limited. And the whole tiger milk mushroom research inspiration actually came from the opening speech by Tun Dr. Mahathir during the International Convention on Biotech in year 2002, when he shared his experience with tiger milk mushroom cure his chronic cough, which modern medications actually took longer time to cure. So his experience has actually shown that tiger milk mushroom has potential to fulfill the unmet obligation of certain modern drugs. And this has inspired us to start the tiger milk mushroom research. However, we face difficulty in getting sufficient and also consistent quality supply of tiger milk mushroom from the wild for research purpose. And this has driven us to start the tiger milk mushroom cultivation research. And after 6 years of research effort, Dr. Tan Chong Seng and the teams has successfully developed the proprietary cultivation technology, produced the world's first cultivated tiger milk mushroom. LiGNO TM02 tiger milk mushroom. And we started to give the samples that we produce in our lab to our families and friends who suffered from health, especially lung and respiratory health problem like asthma, after we have evaluated the safety of LiGNO TM02. And the LiGNO's inspiration actually came from the feedbacks that we obtained from them who had major improvement on the respiratory health. So if LiGNO TM02 is able to help those with respiratory problem, we think it would be a privilege to cultivate, commercialize, and share with others, and they can reap the benefits of the mushroom. In addition, tiger milk mushroom also stands as Malaysia's medicinal gem, and we have hopes that Malaysia will be well known one day throughout the world, because due to the tiger milk mushroom. So merging these two beliefs, we think that it would be a meaningful and impactful endeavor, and hence we started LiGNO Biotech. So when we first started, LiGNO's mission was breathing new life to Malaysia's lost national treasure. And for the past 12 years, we have been emphasizing the phrase good lung, good health. However, people have been taking it for granted up until the COVID-19 pandemic hits us. The challenges that we faced when we first started LiGNO Biotech, as usual, finding investor and funding is always the biggest startup challenges most of the new business owners face. So frankly speaking, it's not easy for us to convince an investor to invest in some things which is totally new to the markets. So we turned to government grant, and we were awarded Technofund by MOA. Of course, this process took us 2 years after being rejected for 4 times. And lack of human capital and essential skill sets was another barrier when we first started the business. Many new business owners always wear many hats as we set up the operation and keep things running. So, and then for the subsequent regulatory compliance and go to the market challenges, I'm going to share with you as we talk about the commercialization journey. These slides summarize the journeys of bringing LiGNO TM02 to the consumer market. 2002, we started the research on tiger milk mushroom. 2008, we developed the cultivation technology. And 2009, we set up the plants. 2011, we successfully listed tiger milk mushroom in the MPRA active ingredient list. And the first tiger milk mushroom product was approved in the year. And tiger milk mushroom was officially introduced to the market in year 2012. And scientific knowledge actually plays a very, very important role in the commercialization of LiGNO TM02 and any other new functional mushroom. This slide shows an overview of the commercialization process of LiGNO TM02 and any new products or any new functional mushroom, which involves several stages from discovery to consumer markets. And scientific evidence is crucial at every single step, ensure the safety, efficacy, and also successful commercialization of the products. And let us look at the discovery. This slide shows that discovery, the determination of the correct species, and also with the desired properties is actually very important to ensure the correct products is introduced commercially. So that is where we develop the DNA marker for LiGNO TM02 to screen about 500 strains of tiger milk mushroom from the Malaysia rainforest. And the one with the desired characteristic was identified and named LiGNO TM02. What is LiGNO TM02? LiGNO TM02 is a special variety of tiger milk mushroom, which is registered under the Protection of New Plant Variety Acts under Ministry of Agriculture. And besides that, we have also screened for the bioactivities, as this was done by our research partner, especially Universiti Malaya's group. And it shows that tiger milk mushroom possesses various bioactivity as shared by Dr. Fung, Prof. Fung just now. And we move on to testing. Safety and efficacy is something very, very important in order to bring a new product to the market, especially product safety. It is a major concern, and regulation governs the assessment of safety and toxicity of a new product. In addition, rigorous scientific studies and clinical studies are required to substantiate the efficacy of the products. And LiGNO TM02 has been shown to be safe for consumption in various studies ranging from in vivo studies to human clinical trial. And the preclinical and clinical studies have also proven the efficacy of LiGNO TM02. Processing. Sustainable supply of raw material and industry capability are initial determinants of whether a candidate product can be manufactured in a reproducible manner and whether the pilot production can be brought up to the market scale. And any successful commercial process has to meet a number of criteria. The process must be reproducible, process must be economically viable, and the process should be implemented using readily available commercial component and control instrumentation. The process must be simple enough so that suitably trained operators can manage the process. And for the commercialization production of LiGNO TM02, we are using our patented proprietary technology, which is an in-house control room cultivation system. And the advantages of this system is it can ensure the hygiene and the product is safe to consume. It allows us to harvest TM02 at the optimal condition, therefore ensure highest medicinal value. And it also allows us to standardize every production batch. Therefore, quality, we can make sure that the quality is consistent and it can easily be scaled up. Therefore, guarantee the sustainability of the ingredient. Besides that, quality assurance is also very important. And the scientific study has revealed that LiGNO TM02 contains various active components such as glycoprotein, lactin, beta-glucan, and etc. And this data actually allow us to standardize the raw material of a LiGNO TM02, and therefore we can ensure the consistency of the quality. In addition, we have also developed, established, and set the gold standard for tiger milk mushroom in the industry. So this is This is actually a quality assurance that being conducted in our productions. When it comes to product development, the scientific research actually guides the formulation of medicinal mushroom product, which is including the determination of the dosage and also of the therapeutic effect. And it can be in any form. It can be in capsule, tea bag, tincture, and powder sachet, and even liquid pouch. However, regulatory clearance is needed before a new product can be brought to the market. And the fundamental challenge in any discussion about regulation of supplements is that there's no global consensus on how the category of product known variously as supplement, as natural health products, and complementary medicine or food supplement in different countries is defined. And another challenge is the regulatory system vary greatly from country to country. Therefore, not understanding the regulatory issues actually involved in developing a new product or failing to comply with associated regulation can actually have legal and financial consequences. Now, let us take a look on the LiGNO TM02's regulatory compliance in various countries. In Malaysia, under the NPRA, the National Pharmaceutical Regulatory Agency, tiger milk mushroom is required to register under traditional medicine. And we have successfully listed tiger milk mushroom under the traditional medicine active ingredient list in year 2011. And whereas in Singapore, license is not required for traditional medicines. And in US, TM02 is classified as new dietary ingredient. And in EU, it's a novel food, whereas in China, it's a new resource food. And scientific data is essential for complying with all these regulations, including product labeling, health claim, and the manufacturing standards. Of course, the challenges is this process is costly and also time-consuming. And lastly, market penetration. Our strategy to bring LiGNO TM02 to the market is by targeting the growing company who are eager to expand their market share, the company that plans to expand their product range or seeking for unique products. And our marketing strategy is by participating trade show to improve our visibility, access to the potential customer or partners. And we also form strategic partnership or channels through the GMP manufacturers, distributors, and different channels. We go through multi-level marketing company, pharmacies, health and natural food stores as well. And in this process, actually scientific research provides the basics for credible marketing claim, enabling us to communicate the health benefits of LiGNO TM02 to our client effectively. And transparently sharing of the scientific evidence fosters the customer's confidence on the safety and also efficacy of our products. So actually, in summary, scientific knowledge actually play a very, very important roles, and it supports the entire commercialization of LiGNO. It's a commercialization process of LiGNO TM02, and from the identifying of the correct species to conducting the safety and also efficacy studies of TM02. So without a very strong foundations on the scientific evidence, the process of the development of TM02 and commercialization could be a very, very challenging process. And after talking about commercialization challenges, maybe I can share a little bit on the operational challenges that we face. And I would say most of the manufacturing skills, especially biomanufacturing, is a highly specialized field with numerous guidelines on manufacturing process, equipment, and safety and compliance methods. Therefore, skilled technical workforce is very, very important. However, the whole industry actually faces some skills gap. We face a significant gaps between the skills required by employers and the skill processes by the available workforce. Besides that, I think the perception of technical career is also another challenge that we face. Some technical careers actually suffer from a negative perception that they are less privileged or less financially rewarding than other professions. So retention of skilled employee is also another challenge. Once manufacturers have trained their employee, they face the challenge of retaining them. The largest company, usually they tend to attract away the skilled employees that actually trained by the manufacturer, small companies. So these are some of the challenges that we face in developing a skilled technical workforce. So our future directions, LiGNO Biotech's future directions. Overall, our future direction will revolve around the scientific advancement, sustainability, customer preference, and of course, our commitment to produce safe and effective products. So we will increase the research and innovation to explore the therapeutic properties of our mushroom further. And we will commit to more clinical trials, as this will help to validate the efficacy of our products to promote evidence-based use and foster greater acceptance in mainstream healthcare. And in order to meet the growing demand for medicinal mushroom, we may adopt more advanced cultivation technologies such as automation. And we will also develop a diverse range of mushroom products to target a specific health benefit and also to cater for various consumer preference and needs. And we will definitely explore international partnership, distribution channel, and market penetration strategy in order to reach a wider audience. So in closing, I would like to take this opportunity to express our gratitude to our research partner. Our collaboration has proven to be effective and also accountable. It has strengthened our Malaysia's capability in developing our homegrown therapeutic. And therefore, I think we are confident enough to bring our Malaysian national treasure to another height at the international stage. And this brings my presentation to the end, and thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Ms. Ng, for the very inspiring story of establishing the TMM or tiger milk mushroom industry over here. And I think the stories that have said and the insights that have shared will definitely benefit our participants over here who are having a dream perhaps to bring another natural product to the industry or make it a success. And this is a successful story. Thank you again. So we have first listen about the science behind the tiger milk mushroom, and we now have Ms. Ng share with us how to bring it and the challenges and all the important elements that needed to bring the tiger milk mushroom from the lab to the industry. And I think we are also interested to know once the product is out and how it's actually being put on shelf of the pharmacy. And for the participants who are just joining, thank you again to joining this INBIOSIS and MSBMB forum. And we have Prof Fung and also Ms. Ng just now sharing. And now I would like to introduce our final panelist speaker, Miss Michelle Yeong Ji. First of all, thanks, Miss Michelle, for accepting and willing to share with us this morning in this forum. And Michelle is a retail pharmacist with 3 years experience working in a retail environment, and is currently a pharmacist in the Caring Pharmacy Mid-Valley. She's a dedicated pharmacist who aims to positively impact the health of the public by giving professional advice, including medication, supplements, and lifestyle modification to patients. And we would like to hear from Michelle on how, and especially in this case, tiger milk mushroom, how it put on shelf of pharmacy, and also in the marketing point of view, how actually challenging to market a natural product. And welcome, Michelle, and would like to give the WebEx to you.
Hello, good morning to everyone. So very thankful that everyone's here to join me today on this presentation. So I'm Michelle, the pharmacist in Caring Pharmacy Mid-Valley. So I've been working there for almost more than a year now. And wait, let me show you this. Okay. So at the pharmacy, when it comes to natural supplements, there's generally divided into two public opinions. So usually people come in and they'll be like, no, I don't want any supplements, or they're not going to do anything, or two, oh, I don't want to take any medications. They all have side effects. I want something very natural. So both of these opinions, they come rooted from concern of the safety and how effective it's going to impact their health. So as a retail pharmacist, I see it as our role to actually listen to them and provide them with information which is reliable and also professional. So it's very crucial that we start addressing from their perspective instead of ours. So throughout the years, especially with the rise of COVID and the pandemic, we all can observe that due to the uncertainty and also continuity of the virus and pandemic and 24/7 news coverage, it's very apparent that it may have prompted demand and attention for natural products, so which may be due to a rise of like fear and health anxiety among public. So a very good example will be the tiger milk mushroom, as it targets the lung health and also the immune system. So some challenges that as a pharmacist we may face in the retail line. So when patients come into the pharmacy and they start to share, describe their health issues with you, it's important to ask more questions and try to understand, because different patients will have different experiences, and if it warrants a doctor referral, or how long has they been struggling with it and the severity, and also what have they tried to do to improve their condition and if it actually worked. So not some customers will just think, oh, you're just recommending something without listening to their story. So, and some customers, especially in shopping mall, they may have done their own research at home, and they just want to hear your opinion to see if it's the same as theirs. So a lot of customers now are also pretty educated on what's the new thing, and if this thing is backed with clinical studies. Also, with the increase of other supplements in the market, we also need to constantly stay up to date, so when we can be a source of reliable information for the patients, and this is how we gain trust and also rapport. So we filter out what is given to us and try to deliver it in a simple way to the patients. As we also become more heavily involved these days in patient care, as we are one of the most accessible people that they can just come to the pharmacy and ask us questions and consult. So the need for access to all these evidence-based clinical information is also very important. After all, dietary supplements or natural products to help customers are linked to their life as well. So following up with the customer's condition is also one challenge after we recommend. So when they come back the next time, we ask them, so how was the product working for you? And some they may just say, oh, I haven't been taking it, or compliance and issue is it's not working. Then you may want to probe more on why is it not working. Then it's mainly sometimes not due to the supplements not working for them. They may not like taking it compliance, and they may not be taking it correctly, the correct dosage to help with their condition. So it's important to emphasize the dosage and compliance to improve the condition. So every time they come back, or when you have regulars, it's important to follow up and ask them to see how it's been going. Also, a lot will ask on the safety effectiveness. That's one of the most important things. And if it's a natural product, where is it coming from? Like, are you sure this thing is going to work for me? So with the tiger milk mushroom, the LiGNO Biotech, it's quite easy to tell the customers that this is a proprietary cultivation technology with also already ensuring consistent quality of each batch. So it provides the highest medicinal value of the tiger milk mushroom. So you don't have to be worried about the safety. With the interactions, usually like medications, usually we will try to recommend or target customers who are having chronic cough or asthma, sinus. So these days, many people have been coming in with coughing. So when they ask for a cough syrup, usually we will try to recommend if they want to take something natural to go with it. Most of the times they do think that if they are on, like, let's say asthma medications, or they struggle with sinus long terms, they are already taking medications, they don't really try to look out for other natural things to improve their condition. So when you try to ask them if they are doing anything else, or how is it working for them, mostly the experience have been very positive, as they think, oh, this you are trying to help me, or you are recommending something which you show that you care about me. So, and you share that sharing like other customers with good feedbacks is also very important. So it's very safe to take their natural products with the medication, and it's also safe long term. And tell them that they do not need to stop their medication and just focus on this. There's no need to do that. Usually with allergies, most important, we do ask if they have any allergies to mushroom. So that's one of the thing. So usually most customers are not really concerned with what is happening with the science behind this supplement. They are more concerned if it's already proven to be doing so, or if it's backed with clinical studies, and how widely used it is by other people. Many times they will tell you, no need to recommend this. I've tried so many things and none of them work. So you have to really be patient and listen and ask what they have tried, and understand the mechanism of the different supplements they already tried, and explain accordingly. So try to tailor the recommendations to the customers. Sometimes, like we always say, it can be due to their wrong method of taking, their incompliance, causing them not to see any benefit. And usually word of mouth plays a very big role. Hearing it from somebody they know who have been having good benefits with the product may be very important, maybe their reason of trying a natural product out. And for this tiger milk mushroom, because it has been here for so long, I rarely have to whip up any paper studies to show them, oh, it's really has been proven to work, or prove them with, which I think can be greatly attributed to how well known it is already, and how popular, and people already know that this is already very good to help improve immune system and also their lung health. Sharing feedbacks and also personal anecdotes also is very important, which is they stem from how you as a pharmacist is professional in just understanding their condition, and not just giving what they want. So understanding and having your own feedbacks, and also what the customer actually wants to hear is you are listening to what they are saying. Okay. So usually we'll accept a natural product to be sold in a pharmacy as long as they have a registered product and with safety and effectiveness proven. So we, as a pharmacy, we do have like a reputation that people, a lot of regulars will come in and say, oh, this product is over here, means it is already like you have already went through it, and they trust us to be putting out things that it's already proven safety. And a lot when it's really busy in the pharmacy and a lot of customers are very educated these days, already done their research at home, they'll just come over and they'll just pick the product and they'll just leave. And I do encounter some customers who come back later and say, actually, I picked up this product because I was curious about it. Can you explain more about it to me? Then we will try to tell them, oh, what is this for? So far, the more and more people have been very educated and want to take more supplements to help with their condition. So usually, one of the main questions, so what is this tiger milk mushroom made of? Why is the name called tiger milk mushroom? So we will explain this name is because of how they were found. So from a tiger's strips milk while feeding, hence the name tiger's milk mushroom. And it's a very rare mushroom, not just, just any mushroom that you can be found. So with main things to know, it has been used traditionally for more than 500 years. So it's definitely have been here in the market for very long, and a lot of people have been taken, and it's also approved by our KKM. So these are the few things that I will tell the customers, so they have the trust that this product is natural and already been filtered through. So trust that it's safe. Also, it is halal, which a lot of customers do pay importance to. So can my children take this, or my children is only like 1 year old or 2 year old? It can be used by children as young as 6 months, and a lot of parents actually give it to their children as well, to help with their sinus, their runny nose, and their lung condition. So if I'm taking prescribed meds, do I have to stop taking everything and take this one? So a lot of customers, they do worry that if they take something else in their regimen, they have to stop whatever that they have been taking. So there's actually no need, and it's actually safe to take it with their medications. Any side effects? Oh, because it has been here for already 400 years, and has been used for a very long time as a medicinal mushroom. It's very well tolerable, but just to make sure that you are not allergic to any mushrooms. And also, if you take a natural product, how soon do I see the effect? Then if I stop taking it, will my symptoms come back? I don't want to rely on a natural product for a long time. So a lot of I do say that a lot of customers actually have very good feedback with just within the first week or within a few days of taking it. But then we always recommend for them to take at least 2 to 3 months continue to maintain the lung health and prevent relapse. Also, if it's stopping the supplement, it may also mean that you stop getting what you are taking in the body, which means the benefit. So if you find it's a burden to continue for a long term, you may try to reduce the dosage first. So to see if a lower dosage still maintains the condition. And obviously, lifestyle modifications also play a big role. And yeah. So some will come with, I have difficulty swallowing capsules. So I have so many medications to take. So how do I fit this in? So with a higher dosage of 420 mg has been easier to introduce it into their regimen. So it's a higher 420 mg. You don't need to swallow so many capsules compared to the 300 mg. Also, it's fine to open up the capsules and take it as a powder if it's difficult to swallow the entire thing. Must I really take it every day? So some, they just take it when they're necessary, and then they come back and say that it's not really working for you. I always tell them that yes, you have to take it every day to optimize the benefits. So what you are buying is not actually a waste. So you have to be compliant, take it every day at the dosage, so you get these to see the benefits and improvement in condition faster. Also with the price is also an issue. So a lot of customers will ask if it's just a mushroom, why is it so expensive? So we do have to educate like it's a medicinal mushroom and it's very rare. So to help with the safety and consistent quality and also the highest medicinal value you get, it's especially not very easy to cultivate. So that explains that it may be not very cheap. So with a patented cultivation technology to ensure that every batch you get is safe, it's not an easy job. So that's how we explain that the price and also what you're getting. So that's actually my simple presentation. Thanks everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Yeong, Michelle, for the sharing and of your experience as a pharmacist with the natural product, supplement product, especially supplementary product, especially this TMM in the pharmacy. So I think we all are, as we are consumer, we normally didn't know how or the product is in the pharmacy. And thank you for the sharing, like for example, regulations, safety of the product put up in the pharmacy, and all the insightful questions that customer have asked and you have sharing with us. Thanks. Also the role of how a pharmacist actually answer those questions. Thanks a lot. And with that, I would like to thank all our three distinguished panelists who have shared from the science behind the tiger milk mushroom. Today's our topics, tiger milk mushroom, and to the industry establishing standardizing the production of the tiger milk mushroom by our Ms. Ng from the LiGNO Biotech, and from the product from industry go to the market in the pharmacy, and sharing by our Ms. Michelle, Ms. Yeong here. So I think in this forum, then we provide a storyline from a natural product that normally we want to know something which is interesting, having medicational beneficial effects, how it bring the product or the natural product into the market, right? So I hope this forum have give you an overview and from our three distinguished speakers. And now I think it's exciting moment where we will open the floor and to address the questions if you have any. For your information, we have about 58 participants over here in WebEx and around 30 in Facebook. So we have about 88 participants with us now. So please feel free to drop your questions in the chat box and also in the Facebook, and we will discuss over here in the next half an hour. So we do have a couple of questions here already in the chat box. So I shall start. Questions from No Nafizado Africa. The question is, since the tiger milk mushroom can improve lung-related disease, coughing and asthma, can tiger milk mushrooms have a significant effects on long-term complication of the lung? Perhaps Prof. Fung or either Ms. Ng or Ms. Yeong, you can address this or give your comment on this.
Maybe I can answer this, Prof. Ng. I think if I understand the question correctly, it would be long-term benefits for the lungs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it does give long-term benefits for lung health.
So perhaps in these long-term benefits, would Prof. Fung would like to elaborate a bit on how actually it works, or from the experience that people have consumed, what can we have learned from it?
So if you look at the properties of how TM02 would work in a system, is that it reduces inflammation, it has antioxidative properties, and it is able to do dilation to our bronchus, so bronchodilation effect. So once it is able to do all these, our allergens are mostly coming through our nasal passageway. So then we would have a variety of response towards the allergen that comes in. If it can help our body to form a barrier, and if it does cross the barrier, then it would activate neutrophils and macrophages and so on. So all these are important things we can look into. So when I describe this, it would be from a scientific viewpoint. We breathe in air. Air has a lot of allergens or possibly microbes we don't know, especially if you live in the city. So we have smoke and all these sort of things. So it comes through our passageway and it will elicit inflammation. So then we have TMO2 that can do anti-inflammatory activities. It has, I didn't discuss this just now in my presentation, but it does have antibacterial and antiviral activities. So all this may be able to help. I hope
Alright.
that answers the question.
Thank you, Prof, Fung, for addressing that.
Also, may I
Yeah.
just add, Prof. Ng, that when we are able to breathe better, more oxygen can enter our lungs. So when we have more oxygen, oxygen is 21%, I know, but when we are able to breathe better, then the amount of good, clean air can enter our lungs, and then perhaps give it a healthier growth. That is the most simplistic way to describe it.
Right. Thank you, Prof, Fung, for the sharing. So we move to another second questions. So from Dr. Muni Najila, may I know the mechanism of the TMM for maintaining the lung health? I think it's similar to perhaps some similarity. First questions. In this case, when we talk about mechanisms, do we know any specific? And when we talk about natural product and so maybe it's a mix of the molecules, right? Proteins, metabolites, and all that we can find in the extract. Are there any particular molecule perhaps that involving the mechanism for maintaining the lung health from the TMM? So may I get Prof. Fung or Ms. Ng to address this? So while the experiment have shown when we test the extract of the TMM and it give effects to what we have observed or what you have shared with us and presented, or do we know any particular mechanism that the TMM help to maintain the good lung health?
I'm trying to understand the question a little bit more. So the mechanism is via inflammation pathways. So we have done a lot of work on what is in TM02. We have classified them into different molecular categories. So some of them may be inhibitors, some of them may be enhancers to anti-inflammatory cytokines. So this is one pathway. Then there are other pathways, perhaps proteins and enzymes that are found, or small molecules that can be found. So we are in the process of discovery. The exact mechanism, well, the general mechanism we already know, but the exact mechanism, but we have to understand that from a natural product viewpoint, as I've mentioned in my talk just now, a lot of components work synergistically. And a lot of bioactivities that we experience from taking natural products such as TM02, very likely it is eliciting secondary responses in our body, secondary metabolites. So when we take something orally, we always have to subject these compounds to digestive enzymes. And then after our digestive enzymes have cut these into smaller molecules, we then look into the smaller molecules. So there are actually a lot of things to discover. But I think what is most important is that we need to first verify whether what is used for traditionally is proven. That is first and foremost. So we are following a path in our discovery. We validate all the bioactivities, then we go into to see what molecules behave this way, and further downstream work has to be performed to understand. But a lot of people have asked me, would there be a day, perhaps this may be interest to the pharmacists as well, would there be one day where we would come up with a product of a singular component as how drugs are. Drugs are now marketed as singular components with definitive pathways to inhibit, to enhance, etc. My answer likely would be no, because natural product is not meant to be in this manner. If you look at even something like penicillin, it is a group of compounds coming from 2 different types of species. So penicillin is not a singular compound. But of course, now if we talk about drug, we have a name. So we have gone through this route too. We have started naming our compounds. That is privilege of scientists. Scientists have the privilege to name things. So we have done that. But stay tuned. We have more to discover and more to disclose. Yeah.
Right. So we hope for more discovery on the specific molecules that can be found and targeting specific mechanisms to explain the effects that we have seen from this mushroom. Right. Thank you, Prof. Fung. So we move to the next question from Lee Qing. So may I know, is there any occurrence of somachronal variations during tissue culture of TMM? How do you tackle it? Perhaps I think the question is to Ms. Ng.
Yes. Actually, somachronal variation is maybe something is quite common in plant tissue culture, but it is not in mushroom cultivations. But anyhow, in our production, actually we have cryopreservations. We have used cryopreservation to preserve the mother stock of the TM02 strain. And from time to time, this is how we avoid the change of maybe mutations or variations in our cultivations. So from time to time, we actually isolate those ongoing culture and compare with what is in our cryopreservations. So this is actually one of our QC to ensure the cultivated tiger milk mushroom quality is consistent and maintained. Yeah.
I see. I also have a further questions from here. So you mentioned in your presentation that 500 strains has been tested before you found TMM02.
Yeah.
So I wonder what kind of process of evaluating the strains. You did mention the best effects that you can come up with, right?
Yes.
So the process of evaluating the 500 strains, it takes a lot of money,
Method.
time, right? And
Yes.
also criteria of
Yes.
behind science. Perhaps would you like to share a bit on that?
Yeah, that's why it took us 6 years. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing is definitely we need to isolate and purify all the strains that we get. And then to make sure that it's the correct species. So out of the 500 strains, actually not all are Lignosus rhinoceros. There are two species that reported by Dr. Tan, the one that Prof. Fung shared just now. So Lignosus tigris and also Lignosus cameronensis. So these two will be, of course, screened through by using our the DNA marker that developed. And then after we screen through that, the first process, then we have to put it into a different cultivation media to look for the correct media for it to grow. And then definitely we have to feed the culture with the correct food so that we want to have a big and fat baby with a good bio properties. So these are the process. So definitely the yield is one thing that we are concerned with, and the quality, of course, which is bioactivity. And this one we work very closely with Prof to prove the bioactivity of those strains that we selected. So these are few criteria that we actually look at when we first started screen through the 500 strains. Yeah. So mainly
see.
it's look for the good yield, and then secondly is good properties.
Right.
Yeah.
So allow me to extend a little bit more on these questions. Sorry, everyone. I would like also to know the scene behind the action. So in order to run this, the funding to support this 500 strain collection, screening or those are from grant, are from the industry investments, or would you like
Self-funded.
to share a bit?
Self-funded. Because okay,
Good.
I put it this way, because tiger milk mushroom was very, very, very new to most of the panel. So most of our application was rejected. So we only use whatever facility that we have. Frankly speaking, screening actually not really needs a lot of funds. We need time. So we use whatever facilities to start the program. So basically, we started without any funding from the government.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a very inspiring and also perhaps I hope it didn't discourage all of us that taking this path, because we have to self-funded at some point to make our journey successful. Thank you, Ms. Ng, for the sharing. So shall we
Yeah.
move to the next questions? From Ayman Hafiz, how can we using a tiger milk mushroom derivative in pharmaceutical formulations to improve the treatment of chronic disease and tackle antibiotic resistance, showcasing the potential of modern medicinal research? Perhaps the question may be to Ms. Yeong. Would it be possible in or formulating? I think I also try to understand the questions. Making a formulation with a TMM in it to improve the treatment of chronic disease and tackle antibiotic resistance. Either maybe Ms. Yeong or Ms. Ng, if you have any thought of that. As a product itself, or maybe have to formulate the formulation can improve the product through the pharmaceutical formulations?
I'm trying to understand the questions actually. How can we do it? Because currently we are not working on pharmaceutical formulations.
perhaps I think that maybe, from my understanding, could be
Mm.
by taking this or mixing perhaps with others product, would it be help for the antibiotic resistance in some way or the other, or improve the immune system, or may perhaps
Actually, I think we can only answer these questions after we started the research on it. Otherwise, I think it's too early for us to say so. Yeah, but then I think in supporting and improving chronic disease, tiger milk mushroom do play a very important role, especially it possesses the immunomodulating properties, which actually helps in terms of maintaining our general well-being and also in terms of helping in the healthy aging as well.
yeah, so this question have an open answer for now.
Yes.
So more research have to be done and to explore the potential or even a molecules, specific molecule, or maybe orchestra of the molecules for the effects towards chronic disease, also antibiotic resistant. So
Yeah.
we move to a next question from Dr. Goh. So what are the initial challenges from lab to market?
Money.
Money is always a challenge, yeah?
Yes, when we want to start a business, money is always the funding. Getting the funding is always the first questions that we have to answer and solve. Yeah.
Mhm.
And then, of course, subsequently, the regulatory compliance. Because without getting the regulations compliance, there is no way for you to bring the products to the market, as what I have shared in the presentations. Yeah.
Right. So money is the most important, followed by regulatory. For the money, as you have shared, we may have to you have self-funded, and apart from that, any tricks or tips to share with us how to secure the funding after, because one cannot continuously self-funded, right? How later that you got the support from the grant or from the investment, perhaps would you like to share a bit on this experience? I think it's very valuable.
I think the initial funding is for us to get things started, but then subsequently we have to survive on ourselves. You have to sell, yeah. So you have to generate income to sustain ourselves.
Self-sustainability.
Yeah. So commercializations, go to the market. That is very, very important to sustain the company.
So I see. So
Yeah.
it's better sustain ourselves and improve ourselves rather than rely on others.
Yeah.
Thanks for the advice. So we move to next question from Susanna Nakpo. May I know what are the challenges that you faced when registering the product under NPRA?
Yeah. When we first registered the product with NPRA, our application was rejected, mainly because that tiger milk mushroom was not in the active ingredient list. So what we need is, again, scientific data to prove the safety of the products. And also, we also submitted a lot of history of use documentation to prove the safety. And so that, I mean, the officer can evaluate. I think mainly their concern is mainly safety of the products. So once you can answer the safety of the products, basically you can list the ingredient in the active ingredient list. And then from then on, any tiger milk mushroom product can start registered with NPRA.
I see.
Yeah.
Thank you for the sharing. So we have a question from Facebook Live from Muhammad Sakir, Muhammad Yusuf. Does the industry, other than LiGNO, ever outsource from other farmers?
What?
So
What does it mean by outsourced from other farmers?
I'm trying to understand. Perhaps I
Mm.
think it would be would that technology or outsource to the people that to produce the TMM,
Mm, okay, you mean to share the technology?
or to propagate or produce? I'm
How many
also
kilos
trying to
mushroom needed for
understand the
one
questions.
sample? Okay. Does the industry have other than LiGNO? If other than LiGNO, then I can't answer these questions because I have no answer for it.
We talk about LiGNO then.
Okay. At this moment, we don't outsource. I
Mhm.
mean, maybe he's referring to contract farming. I'm not sure
Right. Perhaps.
whether this is what. Okay, because we don't do contract farming is because that our technology might produce differently. We use a different substrate to produce our TM02, and the content and the nutritional value, everything could be different from what other farmers are producing. So definitely we don't do contract farming at this moment.
I see. Thank you.
Yeah.
And actually, there are further question from here. How many kilo of
Mm.
mushroom needed
To
for one
produce
cycle of product? How much
to
you need to
produce.
produce the bottle, yeah? And how the company
I
decide on the pricing?
I
That's
can only
interesting.
tell you, we know that our effective dosage, the daily recommended effective dosage for tiger milk mushroom is 250 milligram to 500 milligram. So
Mhm.
you can actually calculate from there how
Mhm.
much is needed for a bottle of 250 capsule.
Right.
And how do we decide the pricing? So basically we compare, I wouldn't say compare, we benchmark those that are similar with the similar function, the product with the similar function in the market. Yeah.
All right. So you mean benchmark the price of other product. So, and actually, I have, from this question, I also have one, where when as a bottle, normally is 60 capsules, for example, right? Just now when you mentioned, depend.
I think it is from the questions actually. 250 was from the questions.
All right. But, this is a general package?
No,
Not really.
generally, I think Miss Michelle maybe can answer. Usually those supplement products in the market, what is the packing size?
Packing size, usually according, like, let's say in capsule form, we try to give it around maybe 21 or also in a month supply. So it's easy for the customers if we mean it that way. Usually it's in that dosage and a month,
A month.
right?
I see. That makes sense, right? So every month, then
Yeah.
after we get a salary, then we can go to buy. All right. So there's another questions. May I know what are the food source used for the culture media? I think this is referred to TMM.
Rice.
Rice.
Yeah.
So the growth of the TMM is eating what we are eating.
Yes.
Right. Thank you, Ms. Ng, for addressing that. So we have another question from FB Live from David Chong. How much volume of raw material supply require global and Malaysia per annum? So the market size perhaps, or the demand in Malaysia and globally. So what is
Actually, from at this moment, it actually is too early for me to give the numbers because we still have to go through a lot of regulatory compliance in many, many other countries. So at this moment, the number we have yet to be able to estimate it, but then we believe that the demand will be very, very huge. So at this moment, from our experience, Malaysia itself, we actually produce at least to supply at least 1 tons per month. That is only
1
for
ton
Malaysia's
per month.
market. Yes, that is only for Malaysia market.
I see. All right. Thank you for the info. And the further question was, how do you intend to commercial the production of TMM in Malaysia? I think I can answer that. It's already commercialized, right?
Yeah.
We can get it in there from the pharmacy, as sharing from Ms. Yeong. The next question is, tiger milk mushroom is not known among the Chinese community in China. How do LiGNO plan to commercialize in the TCM market, considering that they would have other plant source with the same properties as tiger milk mushroom?
Actually, the scientific data and also the clinical studies are very, very important in this case. This is how we prove the efficacy of a tiger milk mushroom. And this is how we convince the consumer on the effectiveness of tiger milk mushroom.
So it's a marketing strategy as well, and also the proof of data, right?
Yeah, actually the proof of data is very, very important nowadays in order for us to bring products to the international markets.
Right. We move to the next question from Mohammad Shakir. How much the downstream companies or industry decides on the price, for example, from Caring Pharmacy or other pharmacies, of any of the capsules product? Does the market stringent or the price is up to the seller or retailer? So in summary, I think how the market decide the price of the product, or so just now Ms. Ng have shared that it is benchmarking, right? The price, and also it also maybe, I think from the questions, would the downstream company like pharmacy also deciding the play a role in deciding the price? So I think that we are interested to know when the product is produced, and apart from the production cost and things, and also the market competitors and price, and how the process of pricing decision is making, right? I think I'm not sure from the question, I think is where would the pharmacy also play a role over here?
So actually being a retail pharmacist, you don't really the product on the market is always very standardized pricing across all pharmacies. But I can share some insight on how maybe the price in charge, like how is it decided. So as far as I know, there's like a cost price which already the supplier already set. So according to like maybe how our HQ or the pharmacies they order, and certain conditions that come with it, maybe like let's say if you expiry date, and if it's condition like returnable, how much order per month as a whole pharmacist of like carrying, that determines like maybe the benefits a little on the pricing, but across all pharmacies it should be standard pricing. So if some other customers who mentioned that they get the same product at a different place at a cheaper price, usually we bring it up to the supplier or the person in charge. Then it's actually supposed to be standardized pricing everywhere. Yeah. So there's no supposed to be like up and downs Yeah. Maybe on Shopee or something, when they buy and they sell themselves, that's a different story lah. But usual pharmacies are all standardized pricing.
Thank you, Ms. Yeong, for sharing. Perhaps we go to our last question of forum this morning. We are approaching 12 o'clock soon. How about mycelium from tiger meal mushroom product produced in fermenter? Do you see any potential? Would one use to grow the mycelium and produce the product with similar effects?
Should
Ms.
I
Ng,
take the questions? Yeah.
Sure.
Basically, I think in order to answer these questions, scientific research is still needed, because definitely different stages of the mushroom is either mycelium or the sclerotia. The secondary metabolite, everything are different. So at the end of the day, only the scientific data will speak the potentials.
See. So it means that currently we haven't having a systematic comparisons of the contents, molecule, secondary metabolized protein, and between the mycelium and also the sclerotia, right?
Yeah, we haven't done any, because basically, I'm not sure, but maybe Prof Fung would like to add something.
Yeah, I would like to say
Basically,
that.
we spend most of our budget focusing on our sclerotia.
But traditionally, and if you look at the history of use and also what has been documented for so many hundreds of years, there has never been any, or rather, maybe I haven't found any that speaks about using mycelium for treatment. Everyone talks about that ball of rock, which is actually the sclerotium. So if they, so we always go back to the source. We always refer to traditional usage. And then we plan the verification scientifically. Because nobody has found mycelium from the ground and, consume it or do anything with it. I think we need to be very objective in when money is the main concern, as you have heard from the industry. When we do this scientific investigation, we always have to do referencing. So since there is no reference of anyone consuming the mycelium, so therefore our research focuses solely on the sclerotium, where the main and most important part of the mushroom lies.
Right. Thank you, Prof. Fung and Ms. Ng for the sharing. Yeah, thank you, Siti, for a very interesting question. I think is one can now do the comparison, perhaps using a technology that available like omics, right? So we can compare mycelium contents and also the sclerotia or sclerotium, and see what is the difference between different states of the fungus. Right. I think we are approaching 12 o'clock in 1 minute. We have no further questions. With that, thank you again for joining us, and I would like to thanks again our very distinguished panelists here sharing with us their knowledge and also their experience and also their opinion about the tiger meal mushroom research, tiger meal mushroom, and also the research and the direction in Malaysia, and also for perhaps benefit the health of everyone. And I would like to open the screen. I would like to actually invite everyone to, if you possible, switch on your camera so that we can snapshot the moment of today's forums. may I get one intern to guide us through this section?
Okay, hi everyone. Alright, ready? 1, 2, 3. Smile. Okay, another one. 1, 2, 3. Smile. Alright, thank you.
So thank you everyone again for attending this INBAS, Institute of Systems Biology and Malaysian Society for Biochemistry and Molecular Biology forum today in discussing the science and commercialization of the tiger milk mushroom. I wish you a great day and I see you again in our next event. We also posted the attendance link at the WebEx chat box. So kindly inform that the link will be available 30 minutes only, and the link will be closed after.